sorry, I'm not defensive about it.
Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream and welcome to all your latest Chelsea transfer news. Big up to everyone that's already locked in. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. All that good stuff. And as always, get involved in the chat, people. Loads to dive into. As always, packed show, guys. Chelsea could enter the race with Benjamin Sesko if they miss out on other targets. We've got the latest on Marc Guehi as well, with Chelsea set to make an approach for the Crystal Palace defender. And still, those Alejandro Garnacho rumours are not going away. Chelsea are still monitoring the situation. And apparently, Garnacho's instructed his agent to make it clear to Maresca that he wants to join Chelsea. So we're going to dive into all of that as well, plus any news that may or may not come through as we are live, chat. So a packed show, as always. Looking forward to it. Before we get started, though, people, just a reminder, make sure you check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description, chat. 20% off. Use code BLUEBROTHER. Make sure you're looking good in the new home shirt, guys. Great prices, affordable quality. Make sure you check it out. Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Code BLUEBROTHER. 20% off the new Chelsea home shirt. But that's enough about that, because you lot aren't here to hear me talk about that. We're going to dive right into it, chat. Let's say hello to a few people first, and then we'll get this show on the road. Yes, big up, big up, big up. Big up to Dallas Knight as well for becoming a channel member. Chat, if you want to become a channel member, support myself and the channel for $1.99 per month, hit the link in the description. Any support is greatly appreciated. Chelsea need to sign another forward, and Kunku's likely to leave this summer. Yep, absolutely. I take Sesko at Chelsea and Guehi. Yeah, I hear you on that. Our strikers at the moment need competition. Yep, they do. Run up the likes, people. Run up the likes. Well, no, look, we're going to get into this. This is not, oh, we're definitely moving for Sesko again. It's just a possibility. Nah, Jeffrey, big up, brother. Big up, big up. Yes, by brick or by stick, we will make sure that the squad is ready for the next season. Yes, big up, brother. Big up, big up. So we're getting 70 mil from Chelsea for Sancho and Garnacho. Well, no, because we're going to. Well, if we do sign him, it'll be 25 mil for Sancho. Garnacho, not really sure what's going on there. Yes, big up, big up. We're not getting Sesko, guys. Come on. No, look, we might. No, I'm not saying we are. I'm not saying we are. But big up to everyone that is locked in, chat. Big up yourselves. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new. All that good shit. But let's start with the first story then, people. Let's start with the first story. And this comes from The Guardian in the UK today. And Chelsea have previously shown an interest in Benjamin Sesko and could try to get involved if they miss out on other targets. Now, this would suggest then, the way that this is worded, this would suggest that Chelsea are going to look for another. So this suggests two things, chat. This suggests that Chelsea are looking for another striker to go alongside Jackson and Delap, or Chelsea are potentially going to sell Nicholas Jackson and they're looking to bring another striker in as a Nicholas Jackson replacement. It is going to be one of those two things. One of those two things. Because the way that's worded, to me, sounds like, do you know what? We are in the market for another striker. And I've been banging this drum for a while. I've been saying it, chat. We need 3 centre forwards. Now, whether that's 3 starting quality centre forwards, and how difficult would it be to juggle, say, Sesko, Delap, and Jackson, or Jackson, Delap, and Gyökeres, you know? How difficult would it be? I don't know. But what I do know is that going into the Champions League campaign, we cannot go in with Delap and Nicholas Jackson. Absolutely no chance, Vince McMahon settings. Vince McMahon settings, no chance of me going in with fucking Delap and Jackson into a Champions League campaign. We can't do it. We absolutely cannot do that. We absolutely cannot do it. I mean, look, Is Sesko better than Ekitike? Is he better value for money? I mean, the release clause is 80 million euros. So again, Sesko and Ekitike are roughly going to be, give or take, the same price. Now, for me, if Jackson stays, it makes more sense to go for a Sesko because again, he's a different profile yet again. He's a different profile yet again. Yeah, sure, Ekitike didn't work out at PSG, but many players haven't worked out at PSG. It doesn't mean they're bad players. And Ekitike is rebuilding his career at Frankfurt. He's still 22 years of age. He's had a very good season. And there's clearly he's got something about him. Now, do I think he's worth the money that Frankfurt are asking for? No, I don't. Do I think Chelsea need to go for Ekitike? No, I don't. As I've said before, Ekitike makes sense if you're getting rid of Nicholas Jackson. Otherwise, Ekitike is not making sense because you're going to potentially spend 75 million pounds on someone who is very similar stylistically and profile-wise to Nicholas Jackson. Yeah, he might be better at certain things than Jackson, but in terms of profile, if you start Ekitike and bring Jackson on, or vice versa, there's not a huge change there in terms of what you're going to get on the pitch. In terms of, it's not a change where you can lump it up to the big man, get physical, put balls into the box and whatnot. Yes, brother, I was in Rocklaw and it was an unbelievable trip. Great trip. Great trip. No doubt about it. Fantastic trip. I'm taking Sesko over Ekitike with our wingers. Yeah, I agree as well. Some players do better at different clubs than they do. Yeah, exactly. I've got no idea. And again, look, chat, this is literally, they could try to get involved if we miss out on another target. So the way that this is worded, guys, is that obviously Sesko is not the next target after the lap. It's clear with the reporting right now, it's clear that Ekitike would be that next target. But if Chelsea couldn't get Ekitike, or he proved too expensive, or he went elsewhere, or whatever it was, then there's a possibility, chat, that we could look to go back in for Benjamin Sesko. It's a possibility. It's really important to stress that this by no means means that, oh, by the way, Chelsea are backing for Benjamin Sesko. It doesn't mean that, chat. It does not mean that. I preferably don't either. Sesko's got great shot power, unique profile. He's someone he's a top player, chat. He is a top player. There's no denying that. Elite level potential. But again, I would have to question 22 Liam Delap, 22 Benjamin Sesko, 23 Nicholas Jackson. All players with not a huge amount of experience. Now, absolutely, quality trumps experience. And people will say, oh, you've been debunked. All you go on about is experience. Oh, PSG, they've got loads of young players. Oh, it's quality. Yes, PSG are an exceptional side. But look what they've got. Marquinhos, experienced. Fabian Ruiz, experience. Ashraf Hakimi, experience. Ousmane Dembele, experience. And they've got top ballers, young talent coming through. Doué, Barcola, João Neves, Nuno Mendes, Pacho, who is a ridiculous centre-back, the first Ecuadorian to win the Champions League. So, it is about quality, but you have to have some experience to guide the younger players. You have to have some experience to guide the younger players. And by the way, as well, chat, PSG haven't just stumbled across this. They've got it wrong multiple times, but they're not scared, a little bit like Chelsea, to move big money signings on very quickly if it's evident they don't work out. Spent 100 million euros on Randall Kolo Muani a couple of years ago. He's gone. They spent big money on Gonzalo Ramos. Doesn't really play very much. Isn't fancied. Could easily be moving on this summer. Do you get what I'm saying, chat? Do you get what I'm saying? Is that PSG has taken him. How old was Marquinhos? Well, Marquinhos has been there for 11 or 12 years. I think he's about 30 or 31. So Yeah, they would have signed him at maybe as a 21-year-old or a 19-year-old. Yeah, they would have signed him as a young player. But obviously he's sure, and yeah, sure, Enrique's played a massive part, but those players have been unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, bro, Ugarte was gone after one season because he's trash. And could you imagine Ugarte in that PSG midfield? We look at Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz. That's got to be the best midfield three on the planet. You could say that, but PSG have drastically reduced their wage bill by moving on Neymar, Mbappe, Messi. They have drastically reduced their wage bill. But yeah, PSG have got the best sporting project in the world. They've got the best sporting director in the world, and they've got one of the best managers in the world. But this hasn't happened overnight. It's taken them a number of years to get there, but that can work. And this is what I'm saying, right? Chelsea have got the right idea. It's just the execution right now is a little bit off. You look at the ages of. No, bro, it's not. Come on, guys, it's not. Let's not be stupid here. Chelsea's midfield three is not better. Is not better than the PSG midfield. As a unit, that PSG midfield is absolutely ridiculous. Unbelievable talents. And we've got a good midfield. Don't get me wrong. Romeo Lavia, outstanding. So is Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez also coming into his own. But let's not bullshit here. Our midfield's not better than PSG's midfield. Some of the players might be individually more talented, but as a three, that PSG midfield is better. It is better. It is better. Bro, give it a rest. Arsenal scored one goal against PSG in 180 minutes. What do you mean could barely handle? It's just, honestly, I honestly don't understand what game some people are watching. It's mental. It's mental. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked here, chat. We're getting sidetracked here. But the last thing I will say is people that are trying to downplay PSG are deluded. This is the best team in Europe by an absolute mile. Absolute mile. The most dominant and one-sided performance in a Champions League final we've ever seen. What a team. What a midfield. And to suggest that the Chelsea midfield is better is just not true. It's just not true. Anyway, I'm done. Exactly. Arsenal were bopped off the park. They were bopped off the park. Yeah, it is. It is. But again, that's not happened overnight. But PSG have got it spot on, and Chelsea aren't wrong in their approach, right? In terms of the transfer market, they've just got the execution a little bit out. Because when you look in 5 years' time, in 2030, how old a lot of these players are going to be, this PSG team, this Chelsea team, you're going to, in 5 years' time, the bulk of that squad are all still going to be there. They're all still going to be there, chat. Yeah, exactly. And when people say, imagine if Chelsea had got Enrique. Yeah, it would have been good. But what I would say is that we wouldn't have given Enrique the tools that he needs to play that football. So I don't think it would have worked out, Chelsea and Luis Enrique, because we simply would not have given the geezer the tools that he needs. But yeah, look, at Aston Villa, they were uncomfortable for 20, 25 minutes in that second leg. And sometimes, you are gonna have to ride the storm at certain points in a Champions League campaign. They're a goal line clearance away potentially from going out, but sometimes you've got to ride the storm and stay strong in those moments. But there is absolutely no doubt PSG were the best team in Europe and in that competition by an absolute country mile. And even if Barcelona were in the final, the PSG would have still beaten them because because Barcelona can't defend. Yeah, PSG could be a probable opponent in the quarterfinal. Absolutely. PSG is a probable opponent in the quarterfinal. No, I'm not even defending I'm not even defending them. It's just what you're saying is just utter nonsense. It is complete and utter nonsense what you're like, bro. It's okay to say that other teams are better than Chelsea. It doesn't mean you don't support Chelsea. It's okay to say that other players are better than some of the players that we've got. Doesn't mean you don't support the team. Like this idea that you can't praise another team and suddenly people think, oh, it means you don't like Chelsea or whatever. It's yeah, and they won the treble as well. Yeah, I mean, it's the Gyökeres one's interesting because again, it seems like there's almost a bit of a 3-1. No, they didn't. Bro? No, they did not. For about 15, 20 minutes in the first half, they put PSG under some pressure. Arsenal went toe to toe. They went toe to toe with PSG and scored 1 goal in 180 minutes. Went toe to toe. Yeah, of course they did. Toe to toe, and they scored 1 goal in 2 games of football. Yeah, they really went toe to toe, didn't they? If anyone was close with PSG, it was Liverpool. It was Liverpool. PSG won't be a problem if we get this transfer window right. No, bro, PSG are a problem. Regardless if we get the transfer window right, PSG are a problem. Club World Cup starts June 14th. Our first game is June 16th against LAFC, a reunion with Olivier Giroud. Our first game, June 16th in Atlanta. Yet Chelsea did want Desiree Doué. Doué is a baller. He's an absolute baller. And Rennes produced some fantastic footballers. Ousmane Dembele came from Rennes. Ousmane Dembele is one of the most talented footballers of his generation. The guy is an absolute joke. He's as good with his left foot as he is his right foot. But again, look, you watched this last night, right? Where was Achraf Hakimi popping up? In the box, almost in a centre forward role at times. Hakimi was finding himself in very, very advanced positions up the pitch. So look, I get it. The inverting stuff is frustrating, but look where Achraf Hakimi was in that Champions League final. Look where Nuno Mendes has found himself throughout that run. These guys pop up in the box. They take up advanced positions. Achraf Hakimi's finding himself in a centre forward position in the fucking Champions League final. I think some of them are all right. I think the first game on the 16th is an 8 p.m. kickoff UK. 8 p.m. kickoff UK is that first one. Is that first game? Yeah, and ultimately, unfortunately, Gusto just doesn't have the quality on the ball in the midfield or in that final third. He just hasn't got the quality on the ball, chat. Doesn't have the quality on the ball, chat. But yeah, guys, we're almost 200 in the building. Only 58 likes. Smash that like button. Run these likes up. Keep subscribing to the channel as well if you're new around here. Road to 20k. Let's get it done, chat. Let's get it done. Run up those subscribers, people. He did play better under Poch because he was an overlapping fullback. That's why. That's why he was better under Poch. No, from minute 1 into was shit. They had 1 or 2 chances. Thuram had a header in the first half, and there was one other opportunity I think they had as well. But Inter offered absolutely nothing. But yeah, anyway, look, with Benjamin Sesko chat, I don't know. With the way that it's worded and whatnot, it looks like Chelsea are going to go in for another striker. But I think with Sesko, that would only be if we couldn't get an Ekitike or someone else. But on Victor Gyökeres, though, because it's been mentioned in the chat, I'm not really sure why there's no noise surrounding Victor Gyökeres. Why is there no noise surrounding him? Because it doesn't make sense for a player of that quality to be available for that price. The Club World Cup transfer window is now open. That 10-day window from June 1st to June 10th, that is now open. Why has no one gone? Why has no one gone for Gyökeres? Why is no one else going for him? It's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. It almost feels like there's like there's a free run at Gyökeres, chat. It does feel like there's a free run at Victor Gyökeres. Yeah, I mean, it's really odd, isn't it? It's really odd. I'm not sure why, because the goal scoring record is ridiculous. He's clearly leaving Sporting Lisbon, and yet no one's interested in him. I thought, honestly, that clubs would have been all over that, particularly with the Club World Cup coming up as well. I thought clubs would have been all over it. There's obviously something going on, chat. There's obviously something going on, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I would have thought that I just don't know. What with Gyökeres? I mean, yeah, maybe. I'm not sure he'd go to United. I'm really unsure. Really unsure. I mean, look, Osimhen was close to PSG a few summers ago. I don't know whether PSG's interest is still there. I mean, PSG technically don't really play with a centre forward. They play with Ousmane Dembele down the middle, and they got that ridiculous interchanging front three. I mean, look, it's possible, chat. It is possible. It is possible. But again, there's literally been nothing on Osimhen to PSG. Absolutely nothing, really. I mean, this is the one that pains me, because Kvaratskhelia was there. That was like a 60 million quid signing in fucking January for a player 24 years of age, unbelievable quality. What a winger. And yet, I know he almost joined PSG last summer, but that there was a signing there, and literally no one went for him. They just let PSG have a free run at Kvaratskhelia. You know, he still might have ended up going to PSG, but why was there a free run? Why was there a free run at just let PSG have an open goal for Kvaratskhelia? Mental. That definitely feels like it was one that potentially got away. Could you imagine having Kvaratskhelia in a team? So much quality going forward. Works so hard as well. Works so hard. Yeah, Cherky going to City as well is pissing me off as well. Yeah, I mean, look, that would have been a decent signing. Would have been a decent signing, chap. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But look, that's the latest on Bnejamin Sesko. Obviously, Arsenal have identified him as their priority target. Chelsea, if they miss out on other targets, could look to make a move for Sesko. Let's wait and see what happens. But right now, chat, I think if we are going to go for another striker, it looks like the most likely one is going to be a man like Hugo Ekitike. So yeah, let's wait and see. But definitely this next 10 days, with the window open from June 1st to June 10th, there's going to be a lot of movement, because that's the window to get your players in for the Club World Cup. That is the registration window for the Club World Cup. So let's wait and see. Well, to start with, Paez is probably going to go on loan. Quender's not coming until 2026. So yeah, anyway, let's move away from Benjamin Sesko, chat, and let's move on to something that I don't really want to talk about, but unfortunately we are going to have to talk about. And that's Alejandro Garnacho links that still aren't going away, because the Guardian have reported that Chelsea have been monitoring Alejandro Garnacho's situation. The report also adds, chat, that Napoli are thought to be the early frontrunners and Garnacho could be available for around £40 million. Now, these rumours aren't going away. These links aren't going away. Every time you get a list of wide players that Chelsea are interested in or Chelsea are linked with, Alejandro Garnacho's name is always on there. You know, his name's always there, chat. And there must be a reason for that. Now, I just put in his name there because he's a winger that's available, and they know that Chelsea need a winger. But then we were strongly linked in January as well. And I just look at it and I think around £40 million for a 20, it'll be 21 in July. There is some potential there. There's clearly some attitude issues. There is a talent there. But is Alejandro Garnacho any better than any of the wingers we've currently got? I would have to say not. I would have to say not, chat. You know, we need Don Antonio to do us a solid here, do us a favour, and come and collect his guy. Come and collect his guy. Look, there's no doubt Garnacho's got talent, but there's inconsistencies which you expect from, which is obviously natural of young players. And for me, chat, he's not better than what we've got. Could he be better than what we've got at some point in his career? Yeah. Do you know what? He potentially could be better than what we've got. But right now, if we're bringing a left wing in, I want a left winger to come in who's going to start and it's going to be better than what we've got. And unfortunately, with this here, that simply is not the case. Simply is not the case, chat. It's not the case. So, yeah, we're in problems with this one. We are in problems. And then this report adding, and again, I don't know how true this is, but I'm reticent to I don't want to be hasty and say that stuff is just totally made up, because there's no way you can be allowed to do that. But let's just take it at face value for what it is, chat. No one else is reporting this, but apparently Alejandro Garnacho has made Chelsea his #1 choice this summer. He was told to find a new club by Ruben Amorim, yet we know that. He's previously been linked with a move to Chelsea, and of course, you know, I think it was at the Chelsea Wolves game in February that Garnacho's agent was spotted at Stamford Bridge. He's also attracting interest from Napoli, but apparently he's instructed his agent to make it clear to Maresca that he wants to remain in the Premier League. A source said Garnacho knows the Premier League is the best in the world, and while fucking adverts, oh fuck's sake, and while he has some good moments at United, he wants to establish himself as a world star. England is the best place to do that, and Chelsea have assembled a lot of good young players. Sun Sports understands Garnacho angered some of his teammates by giving an interview after the Europa League in which he described the season as shit. Yep. The source said Garnacho seems to think he's the next Ronaldo, and this was his exit interview moment, like he wanted to annoy people so much that there was no option but to sell him. It's not gone down well with the rest of the players. There is a feeling that while he's a good player, he's not quite as good as he thinks he is. Well, yes, of course he is. My guy has got the ego of Ronaldo. Of course, he's nowhere near as good as he thinks he is. Yeah, you've got to believe. Yeah, you've got to believe in your ability and you've got to believe in yourself. But come on, brother. Come on. He thinks he's way better than he is. He thinks he's way better than he is. And he's simply nowhere near as good, chat, as what he thinks he is. I mean, look, he'd get game time. He would get game time, but he's not going to get significantly more game time than he was getting at Man United. So, yeah, it's an odd one for me, chap. It is an odd one. Yeah, I'm just baffled by it. I'm just absolutely baffled by it. What is it that people at Chelsea are seeing in Garnacho? What is it? Uh, yeah, no, I have seen that. Please go to Napoli. We would be doing United a favour. We would be. Stick Tyreek in there. Yeah, look, I agree with you. You know, I would rather keep Tyreek George, chat, than look to sign Garnacho. I would rather keep Tyreek George. And yeah, exactly. Keeping Jadon Sancho is a no-brainer as well. That's an absolute no-brainer as well. Oh look, I don't mind Jamie Gittins, but again, it's not really, it's not moving the needle, chat. It's not moving the needle. It's just like another one of those where you're like, oh, well, he's all right. You know, look, maybe in a different environment outside of Manchester United, he'll go and do very well. I think a move to Napoli would be very, very good for him. I think he'd go and do very well in Italy, similar to what Scott McTominay's done, similar to other players. You know, there is life after Manchester United, and life after Manchester United is normally a lot better than life at Manchester United. Right now, bro, nothing. But we're still waiting. We're still waiting. We're still waiting for an outcome. Chat, we're 8 likes away from 100. Keep smashing that like button. Run it up, run it up, run it up. Yeah, I would take Lookman as well. I would definitely take Ademola Lookman. I wouldn't be against signing Lookman. I mean, Nico Williams, again, is another player that gets mentioned, but I don't see Chelsea being prepared to pay those wages. But again, you know, we'll have to see. We will have to see. Well, yeah, in terms of total package, yes. Transfer fee is what, 48 million quid? It's a 58 million euro release clause. So transfer fee is not terrible. It's obviously just the wages and the total package, which is not totally ideal, chat. It's not totally ideal. We must be real there. I mean, look, people talk about playing Jackson on the left. I don't see that happening. Now, look, could that be an option? Potentially, yes, but I really don't see. I just don't see that happening. I don't see it happening. I don't see Maresca playing Jackson off the left. I don't see him playing him as a left touchline winger. I really don't, chat. I really don't see that. You know, but bro, Sterling's absolutely finished. He's absolutely finished at Chelsea. Long gone, finito. Yeah, he's done. Absolutely done. You know, but yeah, I just got a really bad feeling that we are gonna maybe move for Garnacho. I've just got a bad feeling about it, chat. I don't know. I can just sense something. You know when just the reports and the rumors just don't go away, and every report that comes out in regards to Chelsea and wide players, you're just like, his name's always there. His name's always there. You can't escape it. You can't escape it. You know, he's always there. Always there. Yeah, look, there's a potential. There's potential. There's a report from L'Equipe saying he'd be open to a move to Monaco, but Chelsea's valuation could be a problem. I mean, look, Petrovic. Hopefully, Petrovic will play in the Club World Cup. It needs to be looked at, needs to be assessed. I mean, there shouldn't need to be much looking at or assessing. It's pretty obvious that he should be the number one next season, and then we move from there. But I agree. I don't mind. I would be happy with this. I would be happy with that. The only issue is I just don't see how we afford a package for Nico Williams. I just don't see it. Yes, big up, brother. Big up to all the Chelsea in South Africa. Is that South Africa? Yeah, that is South African flag. When's Esteval coming? After the Club World Cup. After the Club World Cup. So he'll play for Palmeiras at the Club World Cup, and then he will come and join Chelsea. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. If he comes in and he does well, I'll hold my hands up and say that I was wrong about him. Just like I do if I'm wrong about any players beforehand. It is what it is. He's not what we need, but if he does come, I'll support him. And if he does well, then fair play to the kid, and I will obviously admit that I got it wrong. No, absolutely not. What about Ugo Chukwu? I think he's. I don't know. I like Leslie. I think he's a very good player. But yeah, I think we could have a problem there. I just don't see where he's going to play. That'll be another loan move somewhere, or I suspect we'll probably look to sell Ugo Chukwu. That's the reality, chat. I suspect we will probably look to sell Leslie Ugo Chukwu. That's what I'm sensing. That's what I'm sensing. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, you have to try and have some positives, But yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. There was one report that said that, and then I've not really seen anything since that is suggesting anything different or whatever. So yeah. I don't think he is. Not for a squad option, he's not. Not for a squad option, he's not. £25 million to be a third or fourth choice winger. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, bro, I hear it. I hear it. No, the team's just not good enough. The PSG is just a way better team. It doesn't matter who's in the dugout. Even if Mourinho was in the dugout, okay, they might not have lost 5-0. They weren't winning that game. PSG are just miles better than them. I don't know. This is a big question. People seem to think that if we sign another striker, that means that Jackson's done. But there's not really any indications that we're looking to sell Nicholas Jackson or we're looking to move Jackson on. So I don't really know where all this is coming from, chat. I don't really know where it's coming from, but yeah, it is what it is, really, isn't it? It is what it is. But yeah, anyway, that's the latest on Garnacho, chat. The rumours don't seem to be going away, but hey. You know, let's wait and see. Let's just hope we don't do anything stupid and sign him in the next 10 days and he's playing for us on June 16th in the Club World Cup. Let's hope that let's hope that isn't the case, chat. Let's hope that isn't the case. I mean, it could be, but let's hope it's not. But moving away from let's turn the fan on a sec, chat. It's a bit fucking hot up here. Yeah, moving away from let's move to the opposite end of the pitch now, chat, because people have been talking about, oh, there's not been much on centre backs, has there? There's not been much on centre backs. Well, there's been a bit more on centre backs in recent days. Let's start with the news about Marc Guehi, chat. Chelsea are thought to be considering an attempt to bring Marc Guehi back to Stamford Bridge. Now, chat, we've argued about this before because there's a lot of you hype merchants in the chat. Oh, he's not tall enough. Oh, we need someone to be tall. Oh, he's too small. The geezer's 6 foot. Last time I checked, that wasn't particularly small. You know, again, and this is what I mean, right? It's fine for people to have different opinions, no problem. But one thing I do not understand is why there are people that think that Marc Guehi isn't a decent signing. It's surely an absolute no-brainer. Like, for the price, for his age, and for what he would bring to this Chelsea backline, like, there isn't going to be anyone better that you can sign in that regard. So I don't understand why so many people are against signing Marc Guehi. Like, why? I mean, chat, if there's anyone in the chat who thinks that Marc Guehi is a shit signing or doesn't think Chelsea should sign Marc Guehi, please state your reasoning, because I cannot see any decent reason as to why we shouldn't sign Marc Guehi. And I don't want anyone to say, oh, he's too small. You know, actual footballing reasons as to why you shouldn't sign Marc Guehi. You know, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. But Branthwaite's not better. And Branthwaite isn't better. He isn't better. Branthwaite doesn't even get in the England squad, bro. And the state of English centre-backs is not great right now. And so this idea that Guehi is trash is just like, what are we doing here? You know, bro, we're not ready to win the title yet. We still need to build for probably another 1 or 2 years. You know, and like Guehi just is a no-brainer. Yeah, I would say so. In terms of realistic, yeah, I would absolutely say that Marc Guehi would be my first choice, because for me, it's a great price. England international, his age is good. He's Premier League proven. He's got experience at the top level. He's captained Crystal Palace to an FA Cup. He's comfortable in a back 4 and a back 3, which would be perfect for Maresca's system. There's a whole host of reasons. Bro, just tell me you don't watch Marc Guehi. Just say you don't watch him, because to say that he's shit is just utter nonsense. It's just utter nonsense. Exactly. But yeah, people seem to think, look, by the way, Tosin's pretty tall. He's not very good in the air. Is Tosin. So this idea that if you're taller, it means you're good in the air is bullshit. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that at all. You know, this idea that, he's not tall, therefore he's like he's can't be good in the air. I agree. I agree. Because 3 or 4 centre backs are going to be leaving this summer, and we need a leader in the back line. We need a leader in the back line. Bro, there's no 10 out of 10 centre back available though. That's the thing. Like, there's no standout, oh my god, centre back available. You know, Chelsea wanted Dean Hoyce and he went to Real Madrid. You know, there's no standout centre back available. There's no standout centre back available. And Guehi, I think you can get Guehi for a cheap price. You can get him for 45, 50 million, 1 year left on his contract, plus our sell-on clause. You know, Palace are either going to have to cash in now or just say, do you know what, we'll keep him and we're just going to lose him on a free. Maybe they'll look to do that. I don't know. So yeah, bro. Yes, Pacho's very good. Pacho is very good. Not denying that at all. Yeah, I mean, I don't see us getting both. I don't think Chelsea will sign 2 centre backs. I do think we'll only get one. I think we'll get one centre back signing, chat. No, we're not going to get Bastoni. People need to stop talking about Bastoni. Bastoni is not coming to Chelsea, chat. It's not happening. If I could have 2 picks of centre backs, who would I choose? I'd go Marc Guehi. I probably would go Guehi and Branthwaite, but I probably would go with that. But actually, do you know what? No, I'd probably go someone a bit older, a bit more experienced, because you go with a Guehi and then I'd maybe bring in an older centre back. Maybe I'd bring back Rudiger or something like that. I know that's obviously not going to happen, but if I could have 2 picks, I'd probably go Guehi and Rudiger or something like that. Yeah, and this is what I mean. Football's about partnerships. It's about partnerships. And Guehi and Colwell would be a great partnership. And I think Guehi and Fofana would also be a great partnership. Starts June 14th, and our first game is June 16th. We play against LAFC and Olivier Giroud in Atlanta, June 16th. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Bro, most of our squad has got no UCL experience. Other than what? Reece James, Trevor Chalobah, and Enzo Fernandez. None of our squad have got any Champions League experience. So, like, what's your point? There's like 3 players in the squad who have Champions League experience. No, he's not going to be available. Maybe. I don't really know. I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really know. It is the honest answer. Yeah, and again, you know, potentially we could be looking at doing that, but I would be looking to keep Chalobah. I would be looking to keep Chalobah, if I'm being honest. Chat, keep smashing that like button. We're on 120 likes. Let's try and get this to 150 if we can. Not if we can. Let's get this to 150. Smash that like button. We're at 241 in the building, people. And keep subscribing to the channel as well. But please do run the likes up and please do keep subscribing, because it does really help me out and I would very, very much appreciate it. Yeah, look, I would rather I want to be keeping Trev. I don't know why people are shitting on Guehi. I really don't. Newcastle are interested as well. Look, make no mistake about it, chap. There's going to be loads and loads of interest in Guehi. Loads of interest in Guehi. No, but he could start over a fit Colwell, and it's good to have options. It is good to have options. You don't want the drop off from your first choice pairing to be massive. You do not want the drop off from that first choice pairing to be massive. You simply don't. You really don't. You really don't. Bro, most of our squad has got no Champions League experience. Is it a problem that that Caicedo's never played in the Champions League? Is that a problem? Is it a problem that Lavia's never played in the Champions League? Is it a problem that Liam Delap's never played, that Jackson's never played, that Neto's never played Champions League? That, a lot of the squad have played no Champions League football. I think Rudiger will stay at Real Madrid. Apparently, Rudiger's turned down a move to Al Hilal. Exactly, Mafia. Exactly, Mafia. Desiree Doué had never played Champions League football and yet was man a match in the final. Right, there's loads of stuff coming in chat. I'm not going to be able to read it all. Just going to scroll down to the bottom. Yeah, I would absolutely be going for him. I would 100% be going for Guehi. No doubt about it, chat. No doubt about it at all. I would be going for Marc Guehi. Easy. No, I don't think Wesley Fofana will be sold this summer. No, I don't. I absolutely don't. Yeah, we do need to add some experience. We do. But there's no denying that. We haven't got the right blend of youth and experience, but the quality also needs to be there as well. I'm not advocating for, just sign some 27, 28-year-olds that are all shit and that ticks the experience box. No, you've got to get the quality right as well. But the experience is important. The quality is probably more important, but you need to have that experience as well. You need something for those younger players to learn from. That's what you need. PSG got Hakimi and Marquinhos in that back line, marshalling that back line, leading that back line. Yes, the fullbacks of James and Cucurella, there's experience there, but in the centre backs, there's no real leader of men at centre back. There's no real leader of men, chat. There's no real leader of men. Yeah, I think the Champions League experience is something that gets made out to be a big deal. I don't think having not played in the Champions League before is a big issue. I don't think it's a big issue. I mean, is it a big issue, chat? I really don't think it is. Mm. Oh, mate, PSG are gonna absolutely finish them off in the Super Cup. Yeah, I mean, I know there've been some reports coming out saying that Ange is going to be sacked. There's nothing official yet, is there, or is it official? Is it official? Excuse me. Let's have a look. Is it official, chat? No, nothing official yet. Anyway. But yeah, look, as we've been saying, chat, this is as I said, this is a no-brainer for me. It's an absolute no-brainer for me. Why we wouldn't be considering it is absolutely beyond me, chat. Absolutely beyond me. Absolutely beyond me. Chat, 15 more likes to 150. Run it up, run it up, run it up. But yeah, that's the latest on Marc Guehi. We're considering an attempt to bring him back. Enough considering, people. Just go and get it done. And get it done in the next 10 days so that this man can play in the Club World Cup for us. Very, very simple. Very simple. Very, very simple. But yeah, moving away from Marc Guehi, chat, there is some stuff on Jared Branthwaite. Because Sky have reported that Chelsea have got three players on a defensive shortlist. Obviously, Chelsea want to sign another young centre-back, and they like Guehi, Branthwaite, and Jarell Hato. Now, Jared Branthwaite's interesting because there's obviously a good player there. Man United tried to get him last summer. Everton wanted £70 million for him. United weren't obviously prepared to meet that valuation at all. United weren't prepared to meet that valuation, chap. How much do we think Tar's gone to Bayern Munich? Done. How much do we think Jared Branthwaite's worth? Because he's going to cost you more than Marc Guehi does. No doubt about it. Jared Branthwaite's going to cost more than Marc Guehi. He's going to cost you more than Marc Guehi. There's a lot of hype around him. He will get into the England squad. He will get into the England squad at some point, no doubt about it. I think he'd be. I don't know. I think Branthwaite would be a good signing, but how expensive is he? That's the thing. There was something from Simon Phillips the other day on Branthwaite. What date was this? 31st. This was yesterday evening. Chelsea want Jared Branthwaite and have reached out on the player side. So far, the asking price is too high, but there's a feeling that the defender is destined to move this window and Chelsea sense an opportunity. So again, opportunity, that classic word we hear with Chelsea in the transfer market. But again, chat, the asking price is going to be is obviously ridiculous right now. The asking price is clearly very, very high for Branthwaite. Now, whilst it might not be the 70 mil they wanted last summer, I reckon it's at least 60. At least 60. At least 60. So right now, I'm sort of thinking, yeah, that's a no deal for me right now. That is an absolutely no deal for me. I mean, look, Branthwaite made what 30 odd appearances for Everton this season. He's a good player. He's a good player, but let's. If you can get a decent price, by the way, if you can get a decent price, I wouldn't be that against it. I wouldn't be that against it if you can get a decent price. Thing is, chat, again, Everton are going to want big money for him. They're going to want big money for him. I think really Branthwaite's worth about 50 million. That's my opinion. But to Everton, he's going to be obviously of great value to them. He's young and he's English, so that then automatically adds on a lot. That adds on a lot automatically, chat. And bro, he's not. They wanted 70 mil. They wanted 70 mil last summer. They didn't get it. They're not going to get 70 mil this summer because Branthwaite's not been as good this season just gone as he was the previous season. So yeah, I don't see it, chat. I don't see it really. Look again. Who said Achimpong is better, brother? Someone said that Achimpong is better than Branthwaite at centre back. I mean, look, Branthwaite's been good this year, chat. He has been good, but again, I'm not fully convinced. I'm not fully convinced. I just need to. The price has got to be right. The price needs to be right. There's no point spending. There's honestly no point spending ridiculous money on Jared Branthwaite. There's no point. And look, I would need to watch more of him. I would need to watch more of him, chat. But when I saw him at Stamford Bridge, I was impressed by what I saw. You know, and yeah, I think it's the case with a lot of players. A lot of players aren't worth their asking prices. They're not. They're simply not. And Branthwaite, I think, as I said, if you can get a deal for 60 million, chat, 50 million, sorry, I would take it. So yeah, there's the second striker is still in the thinking as well, by the way, as suspected. But yeah, Jarell Hato as well as another one. You know, he's not really a centre back; he's a left back, although he can play at centre back. And in that three, he could come in as a left centre back for sure. So yeah, I don't know. Would I take Jack Grealish? I'd take him on a. Do you know what? If Jack Grealish, I think, is still a fantastic player, by the way. I still think Jack Grealish is a fantastic player. It's just all his freedom and creativity has been taken away from him under Pep Guardiola. If you were to get Jack Grealish in and give him the freedom and just the new environment and allow him to do his thing, I think there's a very good player there. There's still a good player there. I probably would take Grealish. You know, I wouldn't be against it. Yeah, I don't know who's going to get Gyökeres. I mean, we discussed that earlier. I don't know. I don't really know who's going to get Gyökeres, chat. I'm unsure currently. But yeah, that's kind of the latest on Branthwaite. I mean, Jarell Hato, again, another one. Young, he's 19 years old. Someone who Liverpool are interested in as well. He's a left back who can play at centre back. It's gonna be interesting, chat. It is going to be interesting to see who we decide to go for in that centre back role, but also are we going to look to bring in are we going to look to bring them in before the Club World Cup? We've got 9 days and counting now until the Club World Cup window closes. Let's see what we're going to do, chat. Let's see what we're going to do. Yeah, I think we got more pull than Arsenal as well. I agree, Cursor. I think we've definitely got more pull than Arsenal. But yeah, it feels like things are you know, they're simmering away, chat. They're simmering away. It feels like things are simmering away. And there's, when things start to get to the simmer and get to the boil, there could be some very interesting things at play. Some very interesting things at play. But we just have to wait and see, chat. We just have to wait and see. But that's the latest on Jarrad Branthwaite. Obviously, Chelsea do like Branthwaite. Chelsea obviously appreciate Marc Guehi. Jarell Hato is another player that we look at. I don't think they will be. Honestly, I don't think they will be. I don't think they will be. Well, I mean, yeah, I think Guehi is the way to go. Imagine Colwell, Guehi, Chalobah, Reese, Achimpong, Cucurella, and Tosin. Well, Guehi would be that experienced defender. Guehi would be that experienced defender. I mean, obviously, Hato would get a significant pay rise at Chelsea, but yeah, he would absolutely fit into the wage structure for sure. Yeah, he would fit in, chat. He would absolutely fit in. There's no doubt about it. No denying that whatsoever. He'd fit in there. And Jarell Hato would be a good signing. Jarell Hato would be a good signing. But again, he's only 19 years old, but he's played 111 games for Ajax. So there is that experience there. He's got Champions League experience, Europa League experience, a lot of first-team experience. And if he comes in and provides an alternative and backup to Marc Cucurella, then I think that's a very good deal. They're talking about 50... Yeah, Hato would be back up for Cucurella. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? And I think Hato's going to be about 50, 55 million euros. They're saying the potential price might be for him. So yeah, I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's too bad at all. I don't think that's too bad at all. Bro, someone mentioning Rafael Leao in the chat is that's yeah, what's that? Yes, big up to the GOAT father. No, Palmer's not wasted in the middle. He's not wasted in the middle. You know, I don't agree with that at all. Any left back news? Again, I think Jarell Hato right now is the most likely one. I think he's the most likely one right now. But yeah, we'll see on that. Ryan, big up to you, brother. Appreciate it. Welcome to the community, bro. Welcome to the community. The place to be this summer for all things transfers, chat. And also, chat, put some names in the... Fire some suggestions over of people you want on the channel, chat. Get some names in the chat and I'll see if I can make it happen. But yeah, get some names in the chat and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, anyone you might like to see on there. Yeah, bro, I am as well. I am very excited to see him in action. Matty Dav. We can do that. What Newcastle, Pete? Alex, we can certainly sort those out. No problem. Yeah, look, a number of players are going to be leaving as well. Let's make that perfectly clear. I mean, Chilwell, Sterling, Kepa, Renato Vega, Disasi, Joao Felix. That's 6 already straight off the bat. Nkunku 7. Maybe Badiashile 8. There's loads of them. Nah, mate, he's very, very good. Like he's one of the first people Chelsea go to with briefings and information. He's very, very good for Chelsea. Very, very good. Very, very good. There's yeah, 2 things as well, by the way. All those links to Gregor Kobel. Like there were loads of links to Gregor Kobel. Ben Jacobs come out and said it wasn't true. We've not heard anything on it since. Strong links with Joao Pedro. It's going to be done before the Club World Cup. Sky saying we're interested. And then literally Ben Jacobs says Chelsea are not exploring a deal for Joao Pedro. Haven't heard anything on Joao Pedro since. Nothing on Mudryk. No, there's nothing. He was out in Rocklaw. I didn't see him, unfortunately. Haven't seen him since. I didn't see him in person. Last time I saw him in person was in Riyadh in December. But yeah, no, Mudryk was out there. A few of the boys saw him. I unfortunately didn't see him. No, we haven't ruined Nkunku. He just doesn't suit the system. Injuries have been a problem. And yeah, really, he's not good enough, ultimately. He hasn't made the most of the opportunities. He hasn't made the most of the opportunities. Yeah, we can get Lewis. Yeah, I can try and get Joey on as well, for sure. I can absolutely try and get Joey Knight on. I'll send him a WhatsApp later. See if we can work that out. Yeah, and Nkunku's been linked to Man United before. Are we going to bid for Gyökeres? I don't know. I hope so, but to be honest, I've got absolutely no idea. No idea whatsoever. If we are or aren't going to do that, chat. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, okay. I can try and get in contact with him. Can try and get in contact with him for sure. Absolutely, chat. Absolutely. Oh yeah, football therapy. Football therapy. Yeah, let me see if I can get in touch with them as well. Yeah, it's literally what we've been talking about. You know, we're looking for a winger and we're interested in a few centre backs. That's basically it. Oh, and by the way, as well, chat, Liam Delap's having his medical today. Could have already had his medical. So that move should be made official pretty soon. Should be made official pretty soon, chat. So yeah, that's another one there. Someone asking about Rodrigo. I don't see Rodrigo leaving Real Madrid now. I think Xabi Alonso is quite happy to have him there. Yeah, I don't see a move for Rodrigo. I don't see a move for Rodrigo materializing, chap. I don't see it. I don't see it. Look, I like him, top player and that, but yeah, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Plus, as well, I'm not. Yeah, I just think he's too much. He's going to be too much money, chat. He's going to be too much money. Bro, it depends where you're living. But it'll be on DAZN. And in the UK, I'm pretty sure it's free to air on Channel 5 or something, which is mental. Channel 5. I can't remember the last time I turned on Channel 5. But yeah, it's on DAZN and it will be on Channel 5, I think, in the UK. But definitely DAZN. But I don't know where your yeah. Anyway, chat. What we saying? Yeah, no, we can get Matty Dab down this. It's quite difficult though, because obviously, because most of us work from home, so it's kind of flexible in getting down to the studio. Whereas Matty doesn't work from home, so it's a bit more difficult. But yeah, we can get him back in. We can get him back in. Yeah, bro. We can sort something. We can sort something. Yeah, Channel 5's got 23 matches. Look again. I don't know why people are slagging off signings before they've even come through the door. Why are people doing that? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Bro, I'm a massive fan of Guirassy. A massive fan of Serhou Guirassy. But yeah, again, I don't see that one happening. People, keep smashing the like button. It's free and takes seconds to do. Please make sure you are running it up, chat. Please make sure you're running it up. Please make sure you're running those likes up, chat. We're on 164. Let's get this to 170, chat. Get this to 170 on the likes. Get this to 170 likes. And of course, people, make sure you keep subscribing. Make sure you keep subscribing, chat. Last time Torrandre Flo was up front for us and it was chucking it down in the snow and you couldn't even see Zola. When was that? No, I don't think he will. I don't think he will. No, I completely disagree on that. I don't see that happening at all. But yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting, chat. It is gonna be very interesting. I think we've got some exciting days ahead of us. Sunday's never a particularly big day for news, but I've got a feeling we could be getting something tomorrow, chat. We could be getting something tomorrow. That is my thoughts. We could be getting something tomorrow, chat. I don't know what we could be getting, but it's a Monday. You normally get a reasonable amount of news on a Monday. That's normally what we do. Normally what we do, there's normally a bit of news on Mondays. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. Oh yeah, Tromzone 97. Oh yeah, yellow kit. That one up there. Was it that one up there? Yeah, it was that one up there, wasn't it, chat? It was definitely that one up there, chat. It was definitely that one. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure of it. Oh, last time Chelsea was on Channel 5. Oh, right. That's what we're referring to. That's what we're referring to. No, bro, we don't need to spend another £1 billion. What are you talking about? I'm a bit confused. Yeah, bro, all right race to be fair. Watched it earlier. I won't spoil the result in case you don't know. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. Look, if we had to sign Garnacho to get Gyökeres, I would probably do it. Yes, but that's a hypothetical situation that is just not going to happen. Yeah, Jay, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with that, Jay. No doubt about it. No doubt about it whatsoever. But yeah, anyway, chat. I don't think there's much else going on now. Let me just have one last check for any final news, and then we're going to round this one out here. Let's have a quick flick through the old Twitter sphere. Doesn't seem to be anything going on. No, there's not. Chat, we're going to round this one out here. Well, mate, tell me something we don't know. Yeah, it is, but you need to become a member and then go from there. But yeah, I mean, I think yeah, you can get memberships for the new season now, I think. So yeah, you just got to become a member and try your luck that way, basically. I don't have a season ticket anyway, so I won't be, no. But anyway, chat, we're going to round this one out here. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Really important. Smash the likes, subscribe. Big love for all the support, as always, people. It's greatly appreciated. As I always say, the shows are nothing without you guys in the chat. So big love to everyone that tunes in and supports me. It does mean a lot to me, and I greatly appreciate it, people. So yeah, big yourselves up. Thank you for tuning in, chat. I'll be back again tomorrow with another live show and another video as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that content. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night, people. And let's see what the rest of the day has got in store for us. Let's see what the next 24 hours have got in store for us. Chelsea transfer news wise. So big yourselves up, guys. Big love. Up the Chelsea. Smash the like, subscribe, and we're out. Peace.